Hi, Peter here, and today we're going to showcase a nemesis build. It's not normal because we're going into the support, and our game plan is to steal all of our opponent's stats. It's really fun to do, but it has its cons and pros. So the reason why we're taking nemesis is because her passive steals stats from the opponent. Her 1 makes us kind of sticky, so we can keep being on up. And our 2 is a slow, it deals nice damage. And our 3, it's a shield, which heals us, which makes us more tanky. And our alt is also stealing stats. We're just gonna yoink everything from them. So the build we're going to, there are 3 items we can go for. The Hunter's Cowl, which will give our team some attack speed, which is pretty nice. It's also pretty good in the early game. So if we have a nice team with it who needs attack speed, we can use this to buff them up. Then we have Mannequin Scepter. We can use this to reduce our opponent's attack speeds with 40%. So the less stats they have, the better. That's the game plan. And the last one is the War Flag, which helps us sustain in lane, which is kind of hard doing with the other 2s. And we will then make it into the Spartan flag to increase our allies' stats in the late game. So these are the 3 options we can go with depending on what we're fighting. Like if we're fighting something that needs a lot of attack speed, we can do this. Also, if they have a lot of dots, like Anubis for example, we could take this just to prevent damage. Then we are going into the boots, and it's going to be ninja tabby because we need the attack speed to make our build go online when we're fighting the enemy. And therefore we're kind of rushing Archival, which will reduce the attack speed by 30% and give us 45 power, which is pretty good. Then afterwards, because we are support, Gauntlet of Thieves is kind of needed just because it gives us self 60 protection in both things, and it gives us a lot of health, so it's a really good defensive item, so why not just build it. And then we're going to the Frostbone Hammer because then we're able to stick even more to the enemy, then our teammates can kill the enemies. And we're gonna then buy the Stone Cutting Sword, which will make us more tanky and remove protection from the enemy, so our hunter will be able to hit really much harder. From there on, we'll upgrade our starter item, and then the game is kind of free to what the last item could be. I've been experiencing with the Loner's Mask, but I don't think it's really that helpful since our 3 is also healing us, and it heals less with this. The Executioner is also pretty good since we're kind of just reducing, like we'll be shredding a lot more, so if we're into like 3 tanks or something like that, then we can take Executioner for that. But else we'll see in the game what we are going to pick if we even get that far. For the relics, there are a few different options. There's the Horrific Emblem, which decreases their attack speed and movement speed even more. So removing all their stats is the game plan, so that's what we are basically always going for. But our second pick can be kind of flexible, like Cursed Ankh if they have a lot of healing, Phantom Veil if we need it. We might even go for Bracers just for the cooldown, or Magic Shelf if they have a lot of hunters that we need to block a basic attacks off. So that's the build, more or less. Then we're gonna queue for a game and show it off. So, we're in a game and we got through. So we have a Poseidon as a jungle. That's gonna be interesting. We only have Tyr that is like a real tank, and they have Kubraken. I suppose that's kind of evened out, depending on how the Ulang Shen will build. They have 2 ADCs, and Ulang Shen is also attack speed based, so we might as well go for the... Yeah, I think we're going to go for the mannequins here. Because Pele is a lot of like small damage. The same with Kubraken, he has a lot of small damage. Xenonos also has a few, and Ulang Shen as well. Just taking that would reduce a lot of damage. So now the problem is that we won't have that good sustain lane, but we'll be taking this because we want to get it online as quickly as possible and reduce the attack speed. We're gonna start off with our 2. We're gonna max our 2, and afterwards we're going to max our 3 because we want to stay alive, and it's a really good defensive ability. And take our ult when we can because it's pretty good. And our free because we don't really care about the damage from here. Like, sure, it's nice, but it's not always needed. So, as a support, we're going to start here, as we normally do in this meta. Take out the 2 first things, and then wait for him to be here before killing the last.
Okay.
To be fair, with the mannequins, we don't actually need to use an ability there. Now she's okay. Mannequins killed it.
Okay.
And an ally has left the game, so we lost our jungler. That's unfortunate. Okay, Ulungshen is here. Interesting. And he is probably going for some tanky stuff.
That is pretty bad.
Good game.
So sadly we went to level 2 instead of our Neve, but that should be okay. Just gonna help out with clearing here. The Ulungshen is not getting anything in here. We should take this jungle thing, since I have mechanics and so I'll kill it quickly. See? And they're probably going to attack us there. No? Okay. Interesting. Suppose they didn't add up, or he's just waiting to use it on the way. So, since you're also playing the Ulungshen, which is not that common, he's building Sentinel's gifts, okay, so they will have a lot of sustain rate up front. Those things will be up in a bit. They'll probably attack it. I don't know why I would do that. That's bad. And we're almost dying here. It's not good. So that's one of the weaknesses, like our early game is really bad. Because we don't have much pressure. Unless we have the spear or flag. Yeah. And we get ganked. Well, that's how it works sometimes. That gives us not much, but that doesn't give us anything else. That gives us... Yeah, I'm just gonna go for this. And this is a typical thing that, like, when people don't understand what's going on, they'll just flame on that. Like, problem isn't that I'm playing Nemesis, but that we got ganked. And above is Wukong. Also that we don't have a jungler, that's kind of bad as well. But this is the kill. Right. And that's the kill. So, like I said, we have a... Like, the pressure is... We have pressure, but we don't have pressure. So, it's kind of limited what we... Okay, I can't see your name. Or health. That's bug, I suppose. Okay, there it is. Okay, we're going. Which attacks I can use. There's walls. Okay, shoot me. She has no mana though. But she's walking over there.
That's too bad.
That's sad. And I don't mana either, so... And
Good game.
So we can kill this real quick. Get some HP. Take this one.
Your left tower is under attack.
Ulungshen is probably going over here. No? Okay. So we don't, like, when we're building Manicate Scepter, we have a lot of mana problems. So I should really be careful with my mana usage and not just use it. So you also need to, like, play adaptively to what your building a starter. And soon we'll be able to buy boots and 400 more gold. They're trying to surrender.
Yes.
As you can see, I literally can't surrender. So I'll just press F6. And we'll see what happens. Yeah. So, yeah, nice. Now he's back. Like, seriously. So, there was absolutely no reason to surrender. And that's why you never surrender. Because there's never a reason to surrender. The only reason there is to surrender is just if you have to go or something like that. And you want the game to be over so you can go do some, for example, an emergency or something like that. But I guess that's nice. We'll try that once more. Okay, so we got into a game again. And this time with a Bellona, which is attack speed based, kind of. And we have a soul as our carry. So we're probably going with Hunter's Cowl, since it will give them attack speed. And it also helps us just get around and be an extra trunk, so to say. Gives fine attack damage, so even more attack speed is nice. But again, we won't have a lot of sustainability, so we really need to be careful with our mana usage. So that were Thanatos. The weaknesses, as I said before, it's you don't really have that well of an early game. It's like more when you hit 5 and you start having your boots and can go out to lane and go to mid and just gank that lane a punch. Like if we get a fat Anubis, we'll probably just win the game. So that's probably going to be the game plan here. And this time we'll also have a level 2 soul instead of the other thing. So that should be easier to...
Okay.
Yeah. Now she can kill it. And we're fine. So yeah, it also takes a lot of time to get this build online, because you need to buy so many items for everything to work together. Also need to be careful about taking hits. Ouch. They are not friendly. And also we don't really have any CC, so that's kind of annoying. So you can try and go for it, really. See. So, like the curve of this is kind of awkward. See, that was easy 2 kills, but now we're also kind of dead. So we'll just try clearing this lane. Since jungler is mid, we don't have to worry about anything, and we can go back. So now we can also buy tier 2 boots, which will help us a bit. Or a bunch, I would say. Also we only use 1 put. But some of the strengths of this, however, is that we are really good at shredding their protections. Like, when we get our build online, we can shred tanks if we need, and we can shred the DPS if we need. You could say that this time it's kind of pointless to shred the physical protection when we have a soul as an ADSD, but that we just have to deal with that. She needs to be careful. And he's probably dead again. Oh no. Yeah, we can probably kill this. But they will be able to go and try and attack it. But they actually got it? How? So you can use abilities on it apparently. I did not know that. Interesting. But also that Another strength is that we have that I can basically be a second jungler when we have our boots up and our first item, so that the mid laner really needs to be careful of what he's doing. So he's going back now. I don't know. I suppose she needs items to become stronger, so that's fine. So another strength that we need or have is that their carries always need to be a bit afraid that they're just going to die randomly, because we will be able to push out a lot of damage. But at the same time, they'll probably also be able to kill us, so we need to be careful and do it right in a red ray as well.
Enemy missing middle.
Okay, we can either go, okay, we'll go for this. It's fine by me. She killed that, and we'll go for that next. Sure. Okay, Fanataz is here. So that's an easy kill. That's two. So as you can see, we have a lot of damage just from our leveling up our bits, but we don't have any mana now. So that's one of the things about having the flag that's really good, that we just have a bunch of mana. We can really just spam stuff and be able to get our boots, and we can also get some more pots and some wars.
Be right back.
So I usually take the harvest down here, because might as well. Our jungler is probably going to be all over the place and doing other stuff. So just clearing this for the sake of clearing it is pretty good. And we have some trouble. Oh, okay, we got a kill net. I think this game is looking to be going great. Okay, now Fanataz is there. That's sad. So wasn't able to get a lander kill on it. So why should you play Nemesis as a support?
Left lane.
You should probably just do it because you want to. Like, it's not exceptionally good in any way, it's just decent, to be honest. It's just for fun, you know? So, if you want to try something new and you get the support role, just try Nemesis as a support. It's really fun. So is it taking off thing here? Looks like it. I regret that. And I regret that. Oh my god, the movement speed from his hive is so... Look at it. Here we could mix this up and buy the Frostborn hammer first, since we... Like, do they? They don't have that many escapes, like, so that being able to just slow them down could be really helpful, especially against the Amazon Cup. So, like, that's another thing that's really nice about Nemesis. You can't really attack her when you don't have any HP. You'll just die. Yeah, now it realizes that the whole team is over at him. And that's 3 ults just for him. Wow, we almost lost our tower here as well, actually. Suppose it would be nice to get this buff. Can I even take this out? Yep. Yeah, I'll be able to kill it. Nice. But I'll have to get back. Yeah, I need to get back. So we'll go for... I think we'll go for the Frostborn hammer, since it also gives us HP, so it's not that terrible to buy first. Okay. Ooh, we got us on. That's a kill.
This won't miss.
And we'll be able to...
Enemy missing middle.
Okay, now there are a lot of people here. We do not like this. Okay, probably just get a free kill here. Okay, no, guess not. And we should get back from there. What is she doing? Go back!
Careful left.
Get back! Ooh, we're getting that speed buff, that's huge. And is he letting me take it? No. Okay. But guess not. Why would he use that on him? Oh, yep. And that was that was no reason for us to be staying. Like, should just gone back. With how long? Oh my god, so this is losing so hard. What will we need?
Killing spree.
Like, getting a CC minute would actually be kind of nice. I think we're gonna get that. Like, she's at 7k, 8. Yeah, it's pretty rough. 1-5. Okay, like that. This game was going fine. No, it's not. And they got God Fury. That's on the fire minions. Let's check that. Really need to get some high priority kills instead of this. Like, killing the 2 and dying in the meantime is not really worth it. Like, they're not even killing him.
An enemy has been slain.
And now their team is probably going over here.
Falling back.
Maybe no. What? Level 12. So that's an... If we look at the cons, like, you're not getting any farm when you're doing this. So you'll basically always be behind unless your team is doing really good. Yeah, can't attack something that's when you're all the way over there. Bam bam.
Attack.
Oh, there are a lot of people.
Follow me.
So we'll be able to do this and kill her real quick. And he's dead. And he's dead.
Falling back.
You surprise me.
So, like, there's no reason to, like, attack the carry. That's just a waste of time. Especially if he's that far up their own jungle. We'll escape so easily. If we can... Okay, so... Like, there's no reason to go into them.
Curses.
Like, ooh, red buff. That's nice, and none of them are alive and 2 of them are dead. So that's a free red buff for me. And this is one of the pros. You can take all the buffs of the enemies. You can just counter jungle and they won't be able to do anything about it. So let's see what we can do here. And we need to get back.
An ally has been slain.
Ouch, is the beast gonna kill me? No, he's gonna kill me. Get anything done. Damn. Let's try one more time and hope that we are actually able to get, like, to show this, since this game we were... Like, I wouldn't really say that it was because their carry was just doing more than me. Like, I think we were doing, like, kind of equal amounts of things. Like, he didn't really do any damage. Like, he has a lot of assists, but like, his CC is good. But it was basically just a Thanatos carrying the whole team, and our team just doing really stupid stuff. That basically won them the game. So, yeah. Well, let's try again. So, in this game we're going to showcase the last start item, and you'll be able to see the difference between having this and the other 2 beginning, and maybe we'll be able to snowball from it. They have an Athena and a Medusa, so it's probably those 2 being in the duo lane. They also have a Chiron, but he's probably going solo mid. So maybe Skylar solo? I don't know. So we probably have to take beats just so we don't die to the... So, and the nice thing about building this is that we can go for tier 2 boosts at the beginning, giving us a bunch of movement speed. We'll try taking the one just to see what's if it works.
Minions have spawned.
But we don't have pots, but on the other hand we have this thing which just gives us a bunch of this is the thing that we would get from pots. Okay, it's a Cairo, so we didn't really need it. That's unfortunate. And it's fortunate. Yeah. I shouldn't have gone into that. Minions is pretty strong. Like if I had had the emblem instead, we'd probably have been able to do that. Sonanas is just really not that great at the moment, I feel like. Like he's not really clearing that well. They're trying to take this. I'm just gonna... Okay, they got it anyway. Thingy. Ouch.
Your middle tower is under attack.
So she has changed its steel. Okay. I don't know how good that will be. But so as you can see, I have full mana. I don't really think I've used anything. I have full mana. And also sustains him up, so that's nice. And you should get away.
Enemy missing middle.
So we got a kill for it, that's nice. Another thing that's kind of nice about the banner is that we get this attack speed, and movement speed. Really helps out. Hey, look at how fast we don't know what he's doing. So I'm probably gonna cut off in a bit. And then just highlight some of the points of the game instead, since this video will be pretty long if I'll show nearly 3 games. Okay, interesting.
An ally has been slain.
I'll probably just show until I go back next time. For him to actually kill stuff.
Tower is under attack.
I can get my resources back. We can kill this thing over here. Sure. I don't need HP. As Nemesis support, you're able to tank the Gold Fury or even take it out yourself. But it of course helps if your ADC is helping you taking it down. Here you can see me fight the enemy jungler. He soon realizes that he can't win the fight. So he tries to retreat. And when he's retreating, he's wasting his ult, which is a good thing since you're only a support. In this gameplay, I'll show you how to be a nuisance to the enemy team. So in this fight, I'll be holding away the Medusa from my team, while also killing her, and forcing their support to go away from the fight. Afterwards, I will go over and play the cleaning up crew and take out the rest of the team. In this last clip, I'm saving our Ao Kuang from the Medusa. By engaging her, she has to remove her focus from the Ao Kuang and then dies for my damage. This is the end scoreboard that we ended up in the game, and next week we're going to take a look at ADC Sylvanas, which will be the last video of this patch. I hope that you enjoyed today's video. Make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, subscribe for more content and join my Discord. I'll leave the link in the description. Also, go watch my previous video if you haven't watched it yet. Then I'll see you in the next video. Moin!